Hi guys, and welcome back to another video of misaligned mayhem and just general all-round poor driving. And we decide who are the bell enders of this selection of videos. As we get into this video, the first one, what we're looking at here is look at the room in front of us. Two cars there passing us, and what they're going to actually do, these two individuals, they're looking to pass the van in the middle lane there, who's going far too slow, really shouldn't be there. The BMW decides you can't go to the right, so what shall we do? I'll tell you what, let's just undertake him. So we've got this middle lane hogger here. He really shouldn't be there. People pass him on the left, people passing him on the right. You think he'd get the message, wouldn't you, and actually pull over into the left-hand lane. He doesn't, and my learner decides to stay there because they're not going to undertake this individual. And it does cause a bit of a problem, of course. It does increase risk as well. While this is going on, we're going to have a look at what's going on behind us at this stage. And there's actually a van coming up behind, and for once someone's actually going to do the right thing. And instead, he could undertake there, as you can see quite clearly, but he doesn't. He indicates quite a little bit poorly, but he does indicate all the same. He gets in the middle lane, he does a bit of a pause, he's obviously checking his mirrors, and then he moves over to the right lane just to make sure that car behind him is not increasing its speed, and he overtakes in the appropriate place. Nice to see, but we still don't understand why that car's in the middle lane there, for example. All of that room behind us, but no, he remains there. This is all too common practice. Look at the vehicles behind. Now, this one here is about the Audi coming up on the outside. A bit of poor planning there, should have been over a lot earlier. As we come past, but the key thing is there is that vehicle there. That's the one we're really paying attention to in this clip. As we get a forward view, we see the Audi coming past, and with a bit of respect here, at least he does give us a bit of room before he actually pulls in. So a fair play to that. But it's the Discovery, I believe it's a Discovery, that's coming up behind here now. And he could have been over a lot earlier and didn't. He's indicating. He's coming in a little bit more space, but he's coming in late. Look how close he is to the Audi. Poor positioning there on the road as well. Not good. Now this one is about the car on the right, circled. We're coming off the A3, and in doing so, we're doing 47, 48 mile an hour. Now this car is meant to be finding the space to come in. He could have come in there, and he's left it a little bit late, so we've had to move out because he left it late. He's running out of road. So now my learner actually wants to get back over to the left-hand side of the right as you see it. And this car is just creeping up, and it's not really giving us any room. We're doing 48 at this stage. It's a 50 mile per hour road, and decides the best thing to do there is to undertake, of course. Once he's passed us, my learner then can get back over to the left-hand side. But look where he's positioned himself. Very close to that white line, and if you watch carefully, he moves over and he's now near the centre white line. One makes you think, what's he doing in the car? Not focusing on where he's going, that's for sure. This one here, this individual here, this is very, very poor indeed. Pay attention to this vehicle as he passes us and watch him very carefully. He then immediately moves over into the left-hand lane, no indication, increases speed, he undertakes, and as he undertakes that car, what does he then do? He then goes back to the right-hand lane with no indication, and then he goes back to the left-hand lane again, and he's literally weaving through traffic. And this is one of the worst things this is really, really poor driving and very dangerous. Now a bit of patience here would have been good. This van coming up, lots of space behind, looking at the lights ahead, the green could be changing, and they end up doing so. What do we do at amber lights? Well, we don't do what this van driver does and basically ignores them. There was nothing behind, he could have stopped for those. Now this clip here is a bit of impatience on the Audi driver. He doesn't do anything massively wrong at this stage. It's a reasonable distance behind us, which is nice to see. But, you know, the good things don't last for long. And as we're moving forward, he then decides, no, I've had enough of standing behind this learner. We're approaching a roundabout, as you can see. We're in the correct lane as we're going straight across here. He's in a lane we can go straight across as well. But the problem is he pulls out right in front. He leaves us no room, shuts us down. It's quite selfish in that respect. And then as he goes across, he indicates and he leaves. But he literally just ignored us as if we didn't exist. Now this next clip is just a bit of good driving here by my learner. We're looking at the lorry coming out. Look how my learner slows down. Very nice. Keeps the crossing clear too. Good distance between us and the lorry. So the lorry gets lots of room to be able to get on his side of the road. Nice. Very nice indeed. Now what we're looking for in this clip is the Mercedes. It's hidden behind the bus on the right hand side. Assuming it was going to be passing the bus, but actually it's not looking to do that at all. Can you believe it? This vehicle here, this white Mercedes, is actually looking to do a turn in the road. I mean, can you believe it? A main busy flowing road, high on traffic, and they decide this is the best place to do a turn in the road. But yes, it doesn't end there. Wait for it. Here we go. Lights are changing. Where does this Mercedes stop? Fantastic. No room in front to go, and literally stops on the crossing. Child on the right looking to cross. Even the two silver cars, one runs an amber light and one runs a red light, just to add to the woes. Then you got this cyclist that comes up, this motorcyclist in the middle. As far as I'm aware, that's not a filter lane, but he treats it as such. And as he moves on, he uses it as his filter lane to carry on down the road. Not very good for a qualified bike rider, no less. Knowing that where that Mercedes is, he's within 2 lanes. So did he anticipate that? Or he could have done something silly. But no, this Mercedes again, it's not in our lane. It's not in the right lane. It's actually in nowhere at all. But it seems to be indicating left for some reason. As the traffic's looking to move on, he's turned the indicator off. As the traffic's looking to move on, he's still pinching 2 lanes. There is a white van that's coming up the other way. He's now indicating right, and he should have been over here where I've arrowed. Now that white van that's looking to pass, the Mercedes in his lane, so he couldn't turn. That's not his lane there, it's the van's lane. And then he cuts the corner, obviously to pass that red car, to get in front of it, so we didn't have to wait for that as well. That's overall poor. That's poor massively. Now this particular clip here is just about your standard middle lane hogger. As he's coming down the road, he just sort of get a bit close and then he backs off as such. But please remember to subscribe and hit notifications. It helps the channel massively. Thank you very much for those that do. I've speeded the video up here just to show you he doesn't move over into my lane whatsoever. He just literally stays there. And then as we're coming up to the traffic lights ahead, as he passes me, he stays over in the right hand lane. Doesn't use any of the other space on the road, just keeps going. He wasn't particularly passing traffic, but he stayed there all along and remains to do so. This vehicle here, nothing too much wrong here in the fact with the Audi, right? These two vehicles, you both can go straight on, but that's not the point here. The point here is if this van here was looking to pass but couldn't, and there was no room, is when we look forward, this is the key thing. As the Audi was looking to pass us, we're coming up to the lights. Look, you can see it's 2 straight arrows, so he can go across, but it's the timing that's poor here. There's a car, as you'll see on the right hand side. He didn't know what this car might or might not do, and he's now looking to pass us just as the road narrows. It was unnecessary. Again, it's just kind of ignoring the learner, which is not good. Now this clip here, bike coming this way, road sign pushing that way. Yeah, should he be doing that? As we're coming down here, my pupil is looking to get to the left hand lane, and at this point is indicating. to move over to the left lane. As you see that that BMW behind us, as we're indicating, just basically ignores our indication altogether, doesn't even let us move over, doesn't reduce its speed. Even the Mercedes has a bit of a pop, but we're actually able to get over at this stage to avoid that. And as we refer back to the front now, you'll actually see him come past, and then we're able to move over. Watch what happens at the lights. He can't get past because of the bus. I'm not fussed with that. I'm just going to stop on the crossing because I'm allowed, of course. And this is some good exception of learner abuse. It's at its best, really. Now this clip here, bit simple, red car coming over a roundabout, have a look there. He can go right there every once or straight on, but he overtakes us. Believe it or not, he's looking to go right. That lane he's in now is for straight on only. Keep an eye on the indications as well. He indicates right to come into our lane, and then as he's halfway in, indicates left for some reason, and then actually, where does he go? To the right. Very, very good driving. Poor. Now, what we're talking about is a professional driver here, no less. As he's going over, what are the white lines for? Not for what he's using them for. A cyclist there as well. That's a poor show by a bus driver. And yet, here's another one. Professional driver again. What this is simply about is the learner moves away, the bus driver gives him no room at all. Look how close that is. That's not good. Not good. Now here, this is just about standard speeding again, 60 mile per hour road. We're doing 50 at this time, and you can have a guess. Look how quick he goes past us. Totally unnecessary. 52 at that stage. How fast do you think he was going? He certainly was going more than 60. Now this clip here is just about priority again. It's just ignoring us as a learner car. There's a van parked on the right hand side of the road. They have to go around it. He does okay, but him, no, he shouldn't have passed, and nor should the Audi that came behind it. But again, it doesn't matter then. We're only a learner at the end of the day, aren't we? This clip here, again, quite simple. Van comes out of a side turn in. This is happening all too often. I do speed up a bit further down in this clip just to move it along, but the point is here, he's on his mobile phone. Again, if you look quite closely, he's looking down, he's not really paying attention. And as we will actually move off very, very shortly, you'll watch that we start to get a little bit of distance from him, and he doesn't move, he doesn't pay attention. So, you know, his focus is elsewhere. This clip here, Roundabout mayhem. What a mess this is, and poor driving. Look at this individual here coming around the learner, and as they're coming through, they're in two lanes at this point. This car here then accelerates hard. The learner driver's not sure what the lorry driver's going to do. He's gone way past the white line, and then watch this acceleration of this car straight past us. Poor driving indeed. The thing is, it doesn't end there. As we're moving forward on, there's going to be a couple of cars, 3 cars to be correct, coming from the left hand side as you see it. I'm going to be highlighting these as idiots 1 and 2, followed by idiot 3. There they are. And as they continue to go, if you watch the Mercedes there, he puts on an indication just about there. And he's in the inner lane, and he actually wants to go where we're going. Can you believe that? He wants to go where we're going. This car behind has to pick up and see that immediately, and I think he does see it now. As we actually start to move on now, he then pushes. There comes idiot number 3. Let's deal with the first 2 first as we move on. There's the green light. There's the 2 plonkers. Idiot 1, idiot 2, that have gone on the inside, across all the lanes to get into that lane. Then if we have a look what happened behind, here comes idiot number 3. He's probably the worst out of all 3 of them for poor driving. He indicates twice, and that's all he allows us, coming from the inner lane to the outer lane. The car picks him up. Well done to him. So refuses to cause a problem there. That is really poor by that BMW. Though he doesn't make up for it, he gets a little bit of tailgating going there, and that's not really good drives. Bit of a shame there. He done something good and then reverted to a bit of tailgating. Should have kept some distance. Please like and subscribe. It helps the channel, and I look forward to you again. There's our bell end of this video. He done the most dangerous in my opinion. You may have a different opinion, but like I say, thank you for watching, and I hope to see you on the next channel.